Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining me. Great to be here with you at the Cable Show out in Boston. A lot of exciting things going on, a lot of new, innovative products, services, capabilities that people are talking about. But there's also still a lot going on with regards to getting some really fundamental services out to rural areas.
Sure, absolutely. So we're seeing the same thing, and at Wipro, what we've seen even specifically actually is a shift in the FCC's kind of priority from extension of voice services to extension of data services to underserved markets. And what we really see actually is the cable industry kind of struggling to be able to deliver those broadband packages at a price that kind of meets the FCC's priorities. That's also profitable, obviously, for the cable operators and affordable for the households that these programs are targeting. So that's sort of one of the solutions that we've been demonstrating here.
So what's the problem there? Why aren't operators able to cost effectively, with a revenue generating model, why aren't they able to get those services out there?
Sure. So there's a few pieces there. First of all, it's just that they've been built around. The cable industry has been extremely successful over the last couple of decades, really enjoying double-digit growth. So they have a kind of legacy customer support and legacy billing model that's worked great over the last couple of decades. That might not be as maybe as efficient and cost-effective, optimized that it could be for, say, a lower-priced product. So that's one piece. Okay, is basically the customer support piece, the billing. And if I double click on that billing piece, what they've really done is invested heavily in a postpaid model, okay, which has been extremely successful and makes sense. But as you move maybe downstream a little bit, they might need to start considering a prepaid model. And actually, one of the facts about the cable industry is that they lose 1% of revenues to collections and bad debt costs, and another 2% of all of their revenues go towards billing costs. Even basic stuff like bill printing, okay, is extremely costly. So by moving to a prepaid model, which the Wipro Accelerate solution is all about, they would be able to recover all of that money and drive that value back into their products.
So in order to create a cost-effective model and bring these services out to those rural subscribers, what's Wipro doing?
So what we've done is we've put together a complete end-to-end managed service, everything from the order placement, order processing, through service activation, and then even the ongoing customer support. We're an Indian-based technology services company with over 130,000 employees. So we certainly, as part of our managed service, would host the customer support offshore. But in addition to that, there's elements around network management, policy enforcement, especially with a prepaid model. You need to throttle bandwidth at a certain level of consumption. All of that's included in this managed service that we want to now offer to MSOs on a per subscriber model.
So how are you able to do this and generate revenue if the MSOs can't do it?
That's a very good question. So the main piece, okay, is going to be scale for us. That we can build this thing once, build this prepaid billing platform and the whole managed service once, and sell it to multiple operators. Where individual operators would have to build this thing, just for their own service. We also think the flexibility of a per subscriber model will be very interesting to them. And maybe the third piece actually is that there's going to be support for white labeling opportunities as well for the MSOs if they want to experiment in different markets with different pricing, different offers under a different brand even to protect their legacy business. That's something that our solution would support.
So basically, they've got to build out the physical network out to those areas. You provide everything else.
In fact, actually, in many of the households that we would target, the network is already there today. And they're just homes that are being passed that aren't, the service hasn't been turned on yet. I think that's really where we would focus. And the FCC has actually made, I was just coming from an FCC panel, and they talked about how they've made a lot of progress in service extension into a lot of these markets today, and now they just need to increase penetration rates. That's what this service is all about.
Excellent. Mark, thanks so much for joining me today.
Okay, really my pleasure.